And each of these council positions right here give different bonuses. Personally, I like to either be Spymaster or the Steward. Spymaster, as said, help your own schemes. Steward just gives you money. You can never go wrong with money. Today I have...
Hi, I'm David. I'm the new release engineer on CK3, and you're right, this is not Fabian.
This is not Fabian. So, today we have some console stuff for you all. So, for those of you who have never played Crusader Kings before, but come in from console, welcome to this world of intrigue and no backstabbing and completely wholesome stuff. There are only, wholesome things. We only befriend everyone. There's no stabbing. We don't seduce our rivals' wives. Everything is fine and wholesome. And if you don't know where to start, the tutorial is a good place. Today, though, here on the channel, we are going to be exploring the next step you can take for yourself to learn more about the ropes on how to play the game and put you in a good position where you really have all of Europe as your oyster. So, we are starting as Duke Vladislav of Bohemia. It is one of the bookmark characters here on the first screen, Rags to Riches. Another good option is Matilda of Tuscany, but she has a little bit more things going on and is a little bit more vulnerable in some ways. With that, well, she's a female ruler in a male-dominated society. She has a lot of just things with Italy going on. So as a good start, we recommend after playing the tutorial, if you still need to know some things, to start as a Duke of Bohemia. At least that is my recommendation after playing quite a bit. We are within the Holy Roman Empire. You are a vassal duke. You are subject to the Holy Roman Empire, so you are pretty safe from any external threats. Hungary is pretty big on your border, but if they try to attack you, they have to deal with the entire empire. Same with Poland. Just all those things. Now, the situation within the empire is that you are one of the biggest characters around. You are extremely wealthy. You have a bunch of options for yourself within the empire itself. We have Austria to our south, who are, they're powerful enough. With 1,000 troops, but as you can see from the very top there in that direction, they only have half of what we have. And we have some neighbors. So every one of our neighbors is smaller than us. Another advantage you have here is very defensible terrain. In the terms of every single part into your realm is blocked off by some mountains. The most vulnerable part of your realm is this southeastern part right here, but that area is controlled by your vassals, so for the most part you don't really need to worry about it. So you also start with one of the most powerful titles, well, the counties in the game, in this one right here, in that you get a gold mine to start with. You start with a constructed gold mine. So your money situation is very much set from the right from the get-go. Next up, we have this Praha here, which is a frankly enormous county. As you can see, you have 6 holdings, well, potential for 6 holdings, which makes it very rich for yourself. You can build more things here to expand yourself. And all of this lends to your extremely you can do whatever you want from this position within Europe. You can go into Poland, you can go into Hungary, you can play the game and try to become emperor. You can do anything you want from here. When we begin, we have a few suggestions going on. First of all, we have a bunch of daughters. Actually, before we go into that, we have our wife, and we want to, first of all, romance her because we're just married. She doesn't love us yet, and we need the love.
Yes.
So we're gonna just start with that. There are some options here. It starts. You can. I suppose I went a little bit too fast here, but you can select her and you can read a little bit more about what she does. Right? She is impatient. She is vengeful, and she's fickle. It's like, just all manners of things going on here. But for the most part, like she's an okay wife, right? But it's the one we start with, and she will not stay away from my sways for too long. Yes. So, while that is going on, we will want to educate our children. Yes, just wholesome scheming. We're just romancing our wife. There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, gotta get kids somehow, right?
Yes. We have 2 daughters, but they are not in line to inherit the throne. Well, our title. But we're still going to see what our children want to do. So she is currently martial oriented. You can see that from the little icon to the side of this here. Let's see if we can actually. Okay. Well, you can see that there's a little icon there. So we can actually educate her ourselves because she wants to become, warrior-ish. So we're the best one for that. And you want to have guardians for your kids, just so you know. She's also martial inclined. Excellent. So we can also educate her. This is only though until we get a proper male heir for ourselves, because Europe is wonderful. Now, another thing you notice here is that right at the bat, we have a couple of things that are a little bit of import. We have the active election in the Holy Roman Empire. If you want to take the empire title for yourself, this is the one you want to use. And in here, you have the list of candidates, and we can select ourselves at the top. For this little playthrough, I will not be doing that. I'm going to be making someone else the emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. And I want a nice and stable realm, so I'm going to go with someone who's a little bit more diplomatically inclined. The Duke of... Oh, okay. Actually, so Duke of Bavaria is diplomatic inclined. However, he is also our neighbor, and I don't really... It's fine, though. It's actually fine, because if he becomes emperor, he can't attack us anymore, because we are his subject. But it's more on the lines. If you want to become an emperor, however, the electors, right here, these are the people you need to influence in one manner or another in order to become the emperor. As I said, not going to do that for today. So that's the election taken care of. Next up is we can create the Duchy of Moravia.
So, quick question about those electors. Can you romance them as well?
You absolutely can. Well, you can try.
Fair enough.
You can try most things, really. But the AI will respond appropriately. Now, another reason to why you can start here as Bohemia is that right from the start, you have everything you need to make a kingdom title. All you need to do that is to create the Duchy of Moravia, which is the first step. And then after that, you can make the title. The only obstacle we have apart from that is money. But as you can see from the very top right, top left, I know my directions, is that we earn a lot of money. Okay, so the icons you have, at least for our children. Oh, that's the wrong buttons. Let's see, go for the... actually, we can just check that our children for that. That's the wrong button. Do excuse me for fumbling a little bit.
It's our first time really playing with the console version because it just came out.
Yes. So, when it comes to how characters will react, this highlighted line right here is what you're looking at. They are the personality traits of a character, and if I hold down the left mouse button, we open up this little view here where you can, kind of control it like a mouse. And we can inspect every element. So here, we can inspect the traits. Come on. okay, I guess this one, we have to do like this actually, click on it. One of those differences between console and PC. So just click on it. The ones that are important here are the ones that are labeled personality traits. And each of these culminate into your personality. For the AI, you can make a reasonable guess as to how the AI will act based on these. For example, the just one will punish criminals more. The diligent one will try to expand their realms in some capacity. The wrathful ones will not really forgive any slights towards them if you make a crime against them. And there are many more of these traits that will affect how they behave. Finally, you have the education trait, which is just how they've been educated. And there are 5 categories of these, and they have 4 levels each. And the higher level, of course, the better. And the rate you get this is by just having a better education. So in the case of our children, we are very knowledgeable about martial, which is these ones here, which is symbolized by the sword. Because we have so high martial, our children can expect to get a reasonable education. Do all characters just have 5 traits? No. Characters can get more traits as time goes on. Characters will generally, however, have 3 personality traits when they have grown up. They can sometimes develop more, they can have more, but generally, a rule of thumb is they will have a total of 3. But
they'll start out with 3 once they reach adulthood, and then throughout play, they can gain more through education,
they can
or
sometimes
experiences, or what have you.
Yeah. But there's also the other traits. For example, we have here the commander trait, which impacts military. And there are a ton of traits to go about. When it comes to the watching which, let's see, let's go to our child, the ones we are educating right here. What I was talking about earlier is this little icon that is right here underneath the cursor. As you can see, it has the same icon that is down here, and that is how you determine which of these are like which way you are being educated, and which ones they are best suited to be educated in depends on their personality trait. Now, before we unpause, because we still haven't unpaused, we want to spend some of our money, and building a strong realm is a good way to just start and dissuade any attackers from coming your way. And right now, the best way to do that is really just to build up your own holdings. Your own holdings are the ones that have these nameplates underneath them. So in our case, Prague, Litomercy, Boslav, Hradec, and Kaslav. They are our holdings. There are other holdings going around here that you can see. They're symbolized by these coats of arms. They are vassals. So we don't hold them directly. So the ones you want to focus on are your own holdings. And whenever possible, on your capital, which is symbolized by your coat of arms, which is, in our case, Prague. So there we have a list of buildings here. Generally speaking, the more expensive, the better they can be in what bonuses they give, but you can always look into the encyclopedia for more details. In our case, though, in my case actually, because I'm very greedy and I do like money, so...
I mean, who doesn't?
Exactly. So for me, it's always, in this regard, how do I want to do this? So for me, Hill Farms is good because it gives a lot of money. Let's take a look at that. We can go through all the buildings like tiers right here to see which one it is. And at the very end, it gives, you know, a bunch of taxes, some supplies, development growth. And the development growth is particularly good because it's in the entire county, which we remember we have 6 holdings we can hold. So this development growth will affect all of those. However, there is something else to be said about this particular province. Gonna just abort this one here. It's that it's our capital, and because of that, I want to have a little bit like defensive about it. We already have we already have some cattles. We can look at them here. They give us some levies. We have like some taxes and some other things. Generally, all things good. But I want to have the hunting grounds because it gives us defender advantage, which means that if someone comes attacking this area, we will just be stronger when we defend in this province, which is very good to have for your capital province. And it gives money as an extra bonus. So we're going to start with that.
Now, it seems like there's some longer-term implications of having a strong capital versus outlying territories.
Yes. Generally, you will always keep your capital upon succession because you have to manage succession. And now we come into another strength of Bohemia. I'm going to let time tick a little bit slowly so we can see what's going on. Also, you're probably going to see us getting a lot of achievements going. Come on, this button is not that one.
So now I watched the tutorial video. I saw that radial menu pop up.
Yes.
That was pretty slick looking.
I do like these. So we're just going to let time go just so we can get some progress here while I explain what's going on. In your realm tab right here, we had succession. And Bohemia starts with succession law house seniority. It is one of the better ones that you can have in that the oldest member of your house, of your dynasty, inherits your titles. Generally, when you start, depending on your start date, you will have confederate petition, partition, or high petition most of the time. But, oh, hello! So, before we continue, our dear Emperor has appointed us as his Spymaster. Now, this is a like sometimes happen if they like you or you have good stats, which means that they will just, you will boost them, but it also gives you some power over your liege. So we're going to take this invitation, and if I so wanted to, so let time go, we can use our position as a Spymaster to get some extra, leverage on our king or on our liege.
Now, can you use this to leverage your own personal benefit as well?
Absolutely. So, like, if I wanted to kill my liege, because I'm the Spymaster, I'm very, very, very likely to do so. But it also, like the bonus we get more powerful schemes against, well, anything because we are the Spymaster. So, and each of these council positions right here give different bonuses. Personally, I like to either be Spymaster or the Steward. Spymaster, as said, help your own schemes. Steward just gives you money. You can never go wrong with money.
It does make the world go round.
Exactly, and the Middle Ages is no different. So, back to the realm. Let's also let time go. Succession. House seniority means that whoever is the oldest will inherit. I do like primogeniture or ultimogeniture. They are both. I prefer those personally because it lets you have it's direct your son or your children, either the youngest or the oldest. I do like the youngest because it gives me my own things, but there are also downsides to taking the youngest. So we are still trying to romance our wife. So, and someone comes up here to try to take her from us, and we're just, how dare you, knave! We shall defend you. And we got defeated by this random duke instead of winning. So we're now wounded. There are some weights here. And as you can see, our character is looking not too great. Because of that, we will want to... What have you done? The world does not revolve around you. Other things are happening in the background to every single character. And they will be doing things. So it seems like our chancellor has done something terrible and represents in a bad way, which is not great for us. But it's fine. We're still rich. We are on top of our game. Yes. Now that we are wounded, I would like to get a court physician. And you go to the decisions there, because you need... A court physician will just make it more likely for you to recover in a good manner. Because injuries are dangerous. Every time you get an injury, there are terrible things happening to you. And we can see there is a... let's see, where is it? There's a thing somewhere that tells a little bit about your health. Let's see. Oh, it's not visible right now. Regardless, you're wounded, right? You want the court physician.
You can see the wounded trait there as well.
Yes. And as you can see, it gives us a severe health penalty, which is pretty bad for us. So we want to get rid of that, and the best way to do that is to search for a court physician. And in the meantime, we're just going to leave it like this while this event goes on and finds us a court physician. Right, let's increase the time speed a little bit to have some more things happen. The court physician. Okay, so, that's expensive, but let's take a look at what you have. So the court physician's primary stat is learning, which is indicated by the book. As you can see, she has 11. She is also an elusive shadow. So she's more of a spymaster, really, but she's also a physician. So, okay. But she's also shy, ambitious, and she's honest.
So she'll definitely tell you when you're going to die.
Yes.
If she thinks you're going to die.
I mean, if she wants you to die, she will tell you, but then she'll probably stab you. So let's see if, but she is a pretty decent one because she has 11 learning. We might hire her, but let's look at our other one here. She's only slightly worse, with 9 learning. She's gregarious. She's a clerk, and she's paranoid. Paranoid's fine, not to us. And humble. So, like, nothing really sticks out in terms of her learning, but I do think I like her more than this ambitious one who may want to do something bad. But there's also, like, they won't do it unless they have something to gain from it. So in that sense, she's also safe because, like, she is unlanded and she's not of a noble house, so she doesn't have any titles she can take. So in that regard, we can probably go with her after all, but we're greedy, and the difference between the two isn't too much, so we're gonna go with the cheaper option, and they can settle in with helping us recover. So, let's take a little bit look around. Word is mostly... Oh, hello, liege. So, in the sense here, like, you can hold... Oh, there it is. There. 2 buttons. To see our liege has passed a new law. Let's finish this one first, though. Let's see. I don't like having people gain hooks on me, especially not my own vassals. So, we shall instead spend money and get this. So, let's stop a little bit. Our liege has passed a new law, which is a limited crown authority law. We can show you what that entails. But this is a list of things that might be relevant for you. Not always, but sometimes it is. So let's go into the realm and look at our crown authority here. And right now we have autonomous vassals, which means that just our vassals like us. The one was passed is the limited crown authority, meaning that our liege, which is the emperor of the Holy Roman Empire, can now take titles from us if he so wishes. And vassals can be taken if he so wishes. And we always have to pay taxes and give some of our troops to our liege. This is all part of being feudal, that we give in exchange for the protection of our liege, we give him taxes and we give him some troops, right? I would rather he have, not have that, because that's just better for us. But there are other ways to go about this, but we can get back to that later if it becomes relevant. For us, though, we want to have the same thing, and it costs us some prestige because we are passing a law, and it's like, yeah, we're putting our name behind this thing, and people don't like it, but we are amazing, so we just want to do it regardless. If only to, be able to revoke titles if necessary. At the same time, though, I don't really think we need it right now because we'd rather have our vassals like us. There are also the higher authorities and the absolute authorities which come in later. People will, like your vassals will not like you if you do it, but it means you can do some other things too.
So for the time being, we're just going to let our vassals kind of do their own thing. Not really going to owe us much beyond what we have in the contract.
Yes. But like just limited, like going up there is good. For the time being, though, I don't really like. We don't really have any unruly tight subjects. But if it ever becomes a problem, you will absolutely push this button to take their things from them.
Take away their toys.
Also, like I mean, sometimes there is a way where we can expand our power by just taking this land because you don't really need a reason to take it. But they will become upset and say no, and then they will declare war on you because you're a tyrant. But we're not going to do that. We are a magnanimous ruler.
Kind of benevolent?
Yes, we are kind of benevolent until our subjects force us to be otherwise. We are kind and benevolent. Normally, I would take just something in here, typically wealth focused because I like money. But I also do want to finish up doing the gallantry because at the very end of each lifestyle tree is a perk or a trait that will give your character a direct bonus for as a reward for finishing everything here. And in the case of the gallant, you get more prestige. You become a better fighter. You become better at just planning things, and being a very, very chivalrous ruler is very attractive, right? I mean, everyone likes that.
It's what everybody wants to see.
It's the armor,
Yeah.
So we're gonna finish that, but you don't have to take the correct focus in that regard. I don't have to take the chivalry focus in order to do so. Chivalry is a very good focus because of the attraction opinion. You get more advantage in combat if you are leading your armies. But I do like authority.
Now that helmet there with the advantage +5, that's your knights get +5, or is that you just get advantage in combat?
That is, you get an advantage in combat.
Oh, okay.
So, and on that note though, we are unique to the console for now. I do want to add this feature into the PC version myself. Need to do some research on that, but I do want to do it. For the purpose of this one, we're going to go with automated armies so we can focus more on the realm building. And we are not going to be commanding because commanding your own armies is kind of risky. We are in the gallantry, which makes it less risky, but, actually, let's do it ourselves. But we're going to have the AI, the war coordinator, handle managing wars. While we are romancing our wife, she is in a conversation with someone. And the icon you see right here, with the arrow up like that, is a stress icon. It means you gain stress. And stress can happen due to a myriad of ways. In this one, it's just this other person is boring our wife with whatever, like droning on something.
Probably talking about how wagon wheels are constructed, and getting very in-depth detail into the spokes of wagon wheels.
And our wife is just bored to death.
Yeah. I mean, that would bore me too, and I think wagons are pretty cool.
Yes. But we can just take her place and have to suffer through this this man's droning.
It's so bad it'll give you chronic headaches for 10 years. That is some boring conversation.
Thank you for watching, everyone. If you like this, there's more stuff right here. And you can find us more on twitch.tv/ParadoxInteractive. Join us.